You are still watching KUTV News at 9. It's now time for the State of the Nation. Tonight, we are looking at what's going on at the Senate. Even as we speak, senators are extending their session tonight to look at what is now known as the impeachment of Governor Kawira Mwangaza by the MCAs, the County Assembly, that is 59 of them voting to send the governor home. But as you know, the Constitution of Kenya, it is a two-tier process, meaning the first process happens at the County Assembly, then the second one happens at the Senate. And now the County Assembly part has been done and dusted with. What remains is the part of the Senate, and we want to look at that with S.K. Kajwang, who is a political analyst. Good evening and welcome to the broadcast tonight.
Good evening, Dennis. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yes. What do you make of the impeachment process? You've seen the way day one went. Any observations so far?
I can say all these things is tied on the Constitution.
Yes.
And therefore, when we are pondering on the whole subject, it must be on the threshold of what the Constitution provides. And it is said that technicalities, procedures cannot override substantive justice. And therefore, the whole process should, at the end of the day, provide justice to the governor. Yes.
Many people are asking and questioning even the sense or the logic behind having senators, because they say Senate, as it sits in a situation like the one we are in right now, it has powers that are equal to what the High Court has.
Yes.
But when you have politicians being the judges in the case of another politician, how does this play out?
Going back to Article 1 of the Constitution that says all sovereign powers belong to the people. We cannot have a discussion about these senators. These senators, number one, it is the people who expressed their will indirectly by giving them an opportunity to go to the Senate to represent their will. And therefore, at this time, I think the political brokering should end, because the whole process should be on the Constitution. And I beg that the senators are going to do their due diligence on what the Constitution really provokes, that by the end of the day, the governor gets an equal share of justice, and also the people of Meru also enjoy the representation that they voted for, because they voted for development. And having a series of impeachment now 2 times. Last time she was impeached only after 112 days in office. And this other time after a year, she's again being impeached by 59 members of the County Assembly. And therefore the case has already been submitted to the Senate, and it's in due course of prosecution by the senators. And therefore, I'll just urge the senators to do due diligence, provide the systematic patterns of what the Constitution provides, so that the people of Meru enjoy their leaders, they enjoy the governor, enjoy the members of County Assembly, and enjoy the members of Parliament that they gave an opportunity to serve them.
What if the leaders don't want to stick together? Because when you look at what is happening in Meru, we'll discuss Kiambu, which is almost getting to that point, but hopefully it doesn't get to that point.
Yes.
But when you look at this, you realize that the MPs have come together. They are complaining about the governor.
Yes.
The senator is complaining about the governor.
Yes.
Other leaders, I even saw the Council of Elders now has been also sucked into what is going on right now.
Yes.
When you look at all this, what does it say about what if it is the leaders who don't want to come together? So the Senate is being used as a pawn in local politics. What does this say of the local politics in the Mashinani, for instance?
I can say that, you see, most of the elected leaders in Meru were elected on a United Democratic Alliance party ticket against what the ticket that the governor was voted in, because he is an independent candidate. And therefore, that is the starting point. it is very difficult for the governor who is on an independent ticket to tussle political muscles with those who have been elected on the majority party, who are representing the party and the interest of the party in the Senate. And that is the distinguishable difference between the governor, who is on an independent ticket, and the members of the National Assembly and the senators who are elected on the United Democratic Alliance Party ticket. And therefore, when we are trying to ponder on this whole subject, it should not be on the question of what the party says. It should be on the basis of what the people expressed on the ballot. Because you cannot tell me today that governor, even if she was elected on an independent ticket, she didn't have the masses. She won the election squarely and fairly. And therefore, we can be making all these political differences that we are seeing every other day and bickering around. But the truth be said, the people of Meru expressed their will on the ballot. And as the Constitution says, that it is that Constitution that is supreme. And the sovereign powers of the people, which was expressed on the ballot, should also reign supreme. So therefore, when we are having this discussion, I also beg the members of the leaders who are elected in Meru, that as far as you are assisting the governor, as far as you're making sometimes allegations that are not watertight to justify the conviction, we must also come to the reality that that governor was voted unanimously and thunderously by the people.
But you'd agree with me that in that same election you are referring to, the voter was presented with about 6 ballot papers. One of them was the governor. The other papers included the president, which is outside the county. Let's narrow down to the ones in the county. The MCAs, the woman representative, the senator, and of course now the governor herself. All these were elected by these people. When the MCAs say that we are against her for A, B, C, and D, they are representatives of the people. Maybe they are speaking what is the heartbeat of the people on the ground there. Don't you think so?
You see, under Section 33 of the County Governments Act, it provides the guidelines under which the whole motion of impeachment is supposed to be done and conducted by the members of the County Assembly, intertwined with Article 181 of the Constitution that provides the grounds under which a governor can be impeached. And therefore, when we are having all this subject, the guidelines are there under Section 33 of the County Governments Act, and we have Article 181 of the Constitution that provides the grounds under which the governor should be impeached. And therefore, if those charges that have been laid by the members of County Assembly against the governor are fair and squarely in tandem with the Constitution, then there is no problem with that. But now the problems comes in if the framers of the Constitution were looking at this scenario that the impeachment should come as an oversight tool. But the members of County Assembly, I want to believe, are using it as a political tool for purposes of boosting their political expenditure and sort. And if the members of the County Assembly are being used from other quarters, we had people who ran, we had candidates who ran with the governor in last election. If they are being used by certain individuals for political expediency, then that should not be the case, because they are wasting a lot of time in doing this impeachment process rather than facilitating and giving the governor an opportunity to exercise leadership. Because at the same time, you cannot tell me that you've not seen leadership from the governor and you've not given the governor time. So therefore, if the governor could have been given time to exercise the leadership, then we will be making a lot of proven and substantiated ideas on the governor as well. Because even Section 27 of the County Governments Act talks about the members of County Assembly having immunity for 2 years. They cannot be recalled by the people. And therefore, I believe this is a breath to the Constitution that why not the governor? They should also be given a little bit of time, a little bit of license, a little bit of immunity, so that their leadership can be tested.
Looking at Meru County, the governor says, I'm fighting some people who want to use the county government for selfish benefits. And as much as that sounds like a good thing to do, especially for the common man within Meru County, but when you are doing that, for example, let's say you are working in terms of trying to better the lives of the people you are ruling over, does it also become a concern for you as a leader to try to manage the politics, manage the people you are working with? I mean, as a governor, you're not an island. You depend on the senator who is fighting for the county at the Senate. You depend on MPs who are doing other roles in the county that maybe you are not doing. Does it also stand as evidence that perhaps Kawira Mwangaza has been unable to manage the politics? Working with the other people has been totally difficult for her.
I think Chapter 6 of the Constitution is fairly equal to the task to answer such questions. But the leadership and integrity chapter. At the same time, we have to look this in a different perspective. You know, we cannot have a government without the people. So we first have to talk about the people. And it is the people themselves who give the governor an opportunity to be at the helm of the county. So therefore, if the despondency that we are having between the governor and the other elected leaders in Meru is a problem, then I urge the Meru people to recall all these people and everyone goes home. They should pack their luggages. They should give other people an opportunity who can work without quarrels, without this conflict.
Yes, we are about to go for our first short break here, but before that, one last question is, do you think the governor should go home with the deputy in case of an impeachment of the governor?
Good. Article 182 of the Constitution says that once the governor has been impeached, it is constitutionally that the deputy governor takes an opportunity to be the governor. And Article 180 says both the governor and the deputy governor are elected on a joint ticket. So it is only fair to say these people were elected on the same ideology. So if the governor is sent home, the deputy governor should also be sent home, because these people sold the same ideologies to the people, and they were given an opportunity to serve. And in very many instances, often you've seen after the governors facing the trial of being impeached and being ousted from office, most of the deputy governors have taken the ground to start a political the political process of enriching themselves with the office after the governor has been ousted. And therefore, it is not prudent enough that you are ousting the governor, then you are leaving the deputy governor to take the helm, while it is the governor who gave the deputy governor an opportunity to serve with him. Therefore, I think it is right, and it is a new fresh air that the Constitution framers should think about, that when these impeachment processes come, both of them should go home.
Okay. This is not an isolated case, Kajuan. It is something that is happening in Kiambu, for instance. Governor Wamatangi was on the brink of being impeached. But yesterday we saw Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua meeting MCS, meeting MPs, meeting even the governor himself. And one of the things that came out is the MCs were saying the governor has been running a one-man show in the county. We also want to take credit of the projects we want to be seen to be working. One of the proposals that MCs have been fighting for a very long time is the creation of this Ward Development Fund, something akin to CDF for MPs. Will this finally solve the differences we see between governors and MCs every other time?
Yeah, good. I can say what the replica of the actions that were done by the Deputy President was good in trying to bring administrative stability in the county government. But at the same time, we must lay facts to the ground that the governor has all the administrative structures in place and is the one responsible in running the county. Is the president of that county. And therefore, it is only prudent for the governor, for the success of that county, to bring the MCAs, who are the greatest stakeholders in the county government, together, be able to listen to each other, share views, share opinions, because nobody has monopoly of knowledge and wisdom on how governance is run. So it is only equivalent to the effective administration of a county government when we bring the MCAs together, who form the legislature, and also the governor bring his people together, who form the executive, so that we have a paradigm shift in terms of how we approach issues of the county. Listen, Dennis, when we have a scenario where the governor wants to run everything, usurping the powers that have been given to the county members of county assembly, then it is only fair to say that those MCAs should not have been elected into office. That means you are masquerading the outlination of the Constitution, and you are bringing down what the Constitution entrenched to be in place. And therefore, both the governor and the members of county assembly should be able to listen to each other. Otherwise, it will be a detriment to the people, because there is something that these people know that we do not understand. There is something that, there is a lacuna in between, that what is the reason why we have a county governor who thinks now that he's the boss, and the members of county assembly, they are presumed to be little boys running the Chasers Club in the village. It cannot be right. So it is only fair that the county governor works efficiently with the members of county assembly for the benefit of the people, because it is only the people who suffer at the service of what happens, at service of the operations that are being done by the county government.
But the governors are saying that they have no problem doing that. If it is about public participation, it's about me coming to the MCA to ask the MCA, so this is your ward, what do you want to be done in this ward? This is the amount of money we have. But what is happening here is, it is like the governors are being forced to give something like some money.
Yes.
And the governors are saying, no, we are not, number one, constitutionally forced to do that. So we cannot do that. And then that's where the whole issue of impeachment is now coming in as a political tool to, to scare the governors.
Yes.
At times, in unfortunate situations like in Meru, it doesn't end at scaring the governor. It actually escalates to the Senate. So why? What should be done? Is it that the MCAs are failing to understand where the limits of their role, what they need to do, and leave the governors to do what they have to do? Because there is no law the governor breaks by not giving an MCA, for example, money to go and use in his or her ward. If I bring development, that should be enough.
Dennis, let me tell you that, these people speak one language. They understand each other properly. More so, these people were elected on one party, because let's say, for instance, in Kiambu County, most of the elected leaders are from the United Democratic Alliance Party. And therefore, you cannot tell me that these people do not understand the language that they speak, right from the party, right from the boss, who is the President of the Republic of Kenya, to the members of the County Assembly. But there is something that I would like to urge the audience, that as far as Section 27 of the County Governments Act gives the members of County Assembly immunity from being recalled by the people, they should not also be too pushy to tell the governor that, look, you must do this thing, failure to which we will take you back to the trenches. It is not right. And it begs a point constitutionally that an MCA brings an impeachment motion to the County Assembly. They unanimously agree. The Speaker of the County Assembly sends notice to the Speaker of the Senate that the governor has been impeached. Then the whole tired process goes on. And it only pardons the point that these members of County Assembly, once they take that motion of impeachment to the Senate, and they fail to provide substantiated evidence and proof that the county governor misconducted in his operation, in its service delivery to the people, these members of county assembly should also be taken to the due process of punishment. Because what is the reason of you are not following the constitution, you are not respecting the will of the people, you are being used politically to rob the governor out of office, which is not constitutionally. Because these people, there is something that we are not getting it correctly. There is gross violation of the constitution and gross violation of the law. Yeah. Gross violation of the constitution doesn't mean that anything or any action or inaction means it's a gross violation. Mm-hmm. Gross violation of the constitution or the law means to an extent that the working operations of the county stop. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, if the working operation of the county is not stopping or any statutory regulations or structures are not maneuvered in any way or ultraviolate, that means there is no gross misconduct. There is no gross violation of the constitution. So therefore, it should not lead to an impeachment process. Mm-hmm. That is what my opinion, my personal opinion is, these members of county assembly, once they fail to provide evidence, substantiated evidence, they should be taken to the due process of punishment. Mm-hmm. Like so that they fail, so that they can even be recalled back because they do not understand. That is the problem of electing people who do not understand. They are not in their proper senses.
Like a dissolution of the county assembly, or
and all of them goes home. If, let's say for an instance, there must be a member of county assembly who brings this motion mm-hmm. to the county assembly for the impeachment of a governor. Mm-hmm. That member of county assembly must go to the Senate to provide evidence that there was gross violation of the constitution in terms of operations by the deputy governor. That means he is prone to impeachment. That is what I'm saying. If that member of county assembly is not able to provide enough and sufficient evidence mm-hmm. to prove that the county governor should be impeached, mm-hmm. that member of county assembly should be recalled by the people, because that person do not understand the reason why he or she was installed to that position.
Okay, we are coming to a close now. I want to pick your mind on the court, the place of the courts in all this. We have had several impeachments, but the only two people who are very unlucky to have gone home fair and square was Governor Sonko, former Nairobi governor, and of course former Kiambu governor, that is Ferdinand Waititu. They're the only ones who went home after an impeachment. The rest have either survived at the Senate or have been saved by the courts. Whereas it is very clear that the impeachment process starts at the county assembly, ends at the Senate, we have had instances where the courts have saved the governors. Should courts meddle in these processes?
And of course, the function, I understand the function of judiciary is to interpret the laws. Mm-hmm. And therefore, I think it is only fair that if the threshold of the constitution that amounts to impeachment of a governor is not met, it is only clear and proper for the judiciary or the court mm-hmm. or the tribunal to come out and set its role clear and state that that is not fair, that's not right, it's not constitutional, therefore should be null and void.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I'll take that as your closing comment. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you.
I've been speaking to SK Kajwang. He is a political analyst. We take a short break at this point. That hearing of Governor Kawira Mwangaza continues tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching State of the Nation this evening.